Has your baby reached around 4 months old and suddenly that angel sleeping through the night turned into a night watch owl? First of all, let me tell you this. No, you didn't do anything wrong. And no, your baby isn't punishing you. This is called the 4 month sleep regression, but that name is a bit misleading because there isn't actually a regression here. Quite the opposite, your baby's brain is undergoing a massive transformation. In this video, we're going to talk about what's going on, what makes things difficult, and the thing you're most curious about when this will finally end. During the first 3 months, baby sleep is a fairly simple system. Active sleep, quiet sleep, then back to the beginning. Simple, yet so predictable. Maybe that's why you miss it. When your baby turns 3 to 4 months old, their brain undergoes a software update. Light sleep, medium sleep, deep sleep, and REM progress in order, just like your sleep. The only difference is that while this cycle lasts 90 minutes for you, it renews every 50 to 60 minutes in a baby. This means your baby stops at the transfer station much more frequently than you do. At every station, a brief awakening occurs. This is called a micro-awakening. Normally, this passes without babies even noticing it. But if the baby hasn't learned to self-soothe yet, they open their eyes, look around, and search for, wait, where did I fall asleep? Was I in someone's arms? When they can't find it, they let you know, loudly. The good news is researchers believe the rapid brain development occurring around this age is closely linked with memory formation and motor learning. So these night awakenings aren't for nothing. Your baby is literally building their brain. Stealing from your sleep, but building nonetheless. Your baby also has an internal clock. This clock actually started being set from the second month onwards, but with this new software update coming in the 4th month, the clock settings got a little confused. The body temperature rhythm settles in the first weeks, the alertness rhythm around the 45th day, and the sleep rhythm begins to fall into place after the 56th day. Before you even realize what's happening, your baby trains you according to their own rules and takes the title of the household night owl right out of your hands. An interesting point, breast milk comes with a different recipe for day and night. Sleep-inducing hormones are more concentrated in night milk, as if the mother's body is whispering to the baby, okay, it's night mode now. Standard formula doesn't have this day-night difference. It's always the same recipe. This doesn't mean using formula is bad, it's just a difference. Still, it's good to know. You can synchronize the baby's internal clock with environmental factors by keeping daytime feedings in bright, active rooms and nighttime feedings in pitch darkness with zero stimulation. In fact, if the sleep regression is hitting harder than expected, another guest might be knocking at the door. Let's look at 3 suspects. First suspect, silent reflux. There is no vomiting, so it's hard to notice, but if the baby nurses frequently in short bursts, arches their back, or becomes fussy when lying flat, stomach acid might be saying hello to them. The solution, keeping them upright during and after feeding, burping frequently, and offering a pacifier. The pacifier is the hero here. The sucking motion soothes the acid. Second suspect, iron deficiency. This is usually discussed after the 6th month, but some babies who are born prematurely or whose stores empty out early can deplete their innate iron supply ahead of schedule, almost like a built-in battery running out. Low iron is linked to waking up everyone to 2 hours and restlessness. Research shows that every unit increase in hemoglobin extends daily sleep by 16 minutes. If you have suspicions, ask your doctor. There's no magic formula, but a blood test will clear things up. Third suspect, motor development, or what we affectionately call night gymnastics. The baby is learning to roll over and, for some reason, prefers to practice this at 3 in the morning. They roll onto their stomach, can't roll back onto their back, and call for help. Giving plenty of tummy time during the day helps shorten these nighttime rehearsals. In other words, the more training they do during the day, the fewer matches they play at night. And a safety note. The moment your baby starts rolling over, say goodbye to the swaddle. Arms must be free. Our future gymnasts will need their arms. There is also a wonderful and gentle method you can apply during this period, Dr. Harvey Karp's wake and sleep method. Just as the baby is about to drift off in your arms, meaning when they are semi-asleep, they are placed in the crib, their feet are gently tickled to open their eyes slightly, and then they drift back to sleep on their own. This teaches them that the crib is a safe haven, and it does so without tiring out your feet. An example day for a 4-month-old baby looks like this: waking up between 6 and 8 in the morning. Yes, we know it's early. The first nap an hour and a half later, a total of 3 to 4 hours of daytime sleep throughout the day, a bedtime routine around 7 to 7:30 in the evening, and a goal of 11 to 12 hours of sleep at night. We underline the word goal. Reality can sometimes be different. Don't panic. Short naps are completely normal at this age. Your baby isn't a nap master yet, just an apprentice. If they feed poorly during the day and wake up from hunger at night, this is called a reverse cycle. Feeding them filling meals every 2.5 to 3.5 hours in a calm environment during the day helps. Now, let's put jokes aside and move to the serious part, because this area is non-negotiable. The baby must be placed on their back for every sleep session, both day and night. This is the safest position even for babies with reflux. When lying on their back, the airway remains above the esophagus, preventing fluid from backflowing. The mattress must be firm and flat. No soft objects like pillows, blankets, toys, or crib bumpers should be in the crib. The emptier and more boring the crib looks, the safer it is. Weighted blankets or weighted swaddles are strictly forbidden. These suppress the baby's startle reflex to wake themselves up. Keeping their crib in your own room for at least 6 months, preferably a year, reduces vital risks by about half. The pacifier is also a protective factor. For safety reasons, you don't need to force the pacifier back into the baby's mouth after it falls out, but if the baby wakes up searching for it, you can gently give it back. So let's come to that crucial question: when will this end? The good news is that this intense and rocky adaptation process usually lasts between 2 to 6 weeks. As your baby gets used to this new sleep software and figures out how to self-soothe, those old peaceful nights will gradually return. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. You are in a temporary phase. In summary, the 4-month sleep disruption is not a problem. It's proof that your baby's brain is maturing beautifully. Be patient, check for underlying causes like reflux or iron deficiency, establish a gentle routine, stick to the safety rules, and hey, you'll get some sleep every now and then too, we promise. This temporary period lays the foundation for a healthy sleep future for both your baby and you. For now, warm up that coffee and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.